Man, you got Canelo and Josh and all these guys, making $50 million and these percent of that. Where's it going to? How's it helping the fighters out? What are they doing with it? We getting 3% to these organizations. I mean, we gotta know where this money going to. I mean, a lot of times they getting. Man, you got Canelo and Josh and all these guys, making $50 million, and these belts getting 3% of that. Where's it going to? How's it helping the fighters out? What are they doing with it? We getting 3% to these.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, you heard the voice of undefeated, unified, three-belt WBA, WBC, IBF, welterweight world champion superstar boxer, who is widely considered by many to be top two, if not number one, definitely top five pound for pound best fighters in the world, in Errol "The Truth" Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. is 28 wins, no loss and no draw, 22 big wins by way of knockout. He is 33 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. He's heading into the biggest fight, the most anticipated fight, and possibly the biggest fight in 40 years when he faces off against undefeated three-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the reigning WBO welterweight world champion, who is widely considered by many to be to be the number one pound for pound best fighter in the world, in Terrence Bud Crawford. Terrence Crawford is 39 wins, no loss and no draw, 30 big wins by way of knockout, 35 years of age, 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. They'll face off July 29th, Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena. With that said, Errol Spence, in the second press conference leading up to the build-up to this fight, he called out the sanction bodies. He called out the World Boxing Council, better known as the WBC, President Mauricio Sulaiman, board of 32 members. He called out the WBA, World Boxing Association, President Gilberto Mendoza. He called out the IBF, International Boxing Federation, President Mr. Peoples, okay? And obviously, then you have the WBO, to which Terrence Crawford holds that belt. So they will be paying, between the two of them, they will be paying 12% of their purses to these sanction bodies for this fight and moving forward. And so Errol Spence, he stated, we need to know, where is this money going? That's a lot of money. You're talking about $300,000, possibly $500,000. So the other three sanction bodies, the WBO, WBA, and IBF, they didn't respond. Today, the WBC, a week later, they decide to respond to Errol Spence, and they put up a few posts to which they stated that what they do with their percentage. They open up funds. They care about the fighters. They're looking to, support the fighters' health, well-being. They're opening up centers and supporting the kids with cancer and so on and so forth, right? So this is what Mauricio Sulaiman and WBC posted in response to Errol Spence a week later, right? There's no surprise that it's a week later. So they're stating that, they have, they're invested into the sport of boxing. So this is what they stated, right? It states the WBC prioritizes the boxer's safety and well-being. These are some of the things that sanction fees are used for. Okay. Then they go on to say they have historic events that bring the world boxing together and promote our sport, while working in the annual programs and results with specific plans and of action. Whenever a WBC world title fight takes place, all the fighters in the undercard and preliminaries are covered with life insurance, regardless if they are fight for the WBC or not. So they're saying that they are paying for fighters who don't represent these sanction bodies, but this is where the WBC is sending their money. Okay. And so then they go on to say, we created in 2004 has been boxers and members of the boxing community visit children's hospitals, orphanages, schools, gymnasiums, and other facilities to bring hope and inspiration to those who need it the most. So they're saying that they gather these fighters and they go visit these children in support of children, hospitals, gymnasiums, so on and so forth, orphanages. Then they go on to say, we have provided aid since 2012 to many boxers from all around the world who have fallen in hard times. The Jose Sulaiman, that's Mauricio Sulaiman's father who transitioned, Boxing Foundation has awarded more than $2 million in support to the former fighters from Nicaragua, Argentina, Thailand, China, Colombia, Spain, United States, the Philippines, Panama, Mexico, among many other countries. It says that they donated $2 million. Well, $2 million is simply not enough. If you making in this undisputed match, we have multiple undisputed champions today's time in the sport of boxing. You have in this fight, this is a welterweight fight. We're going to have an undisputed champion. You have Devin Haney is an undisputed champion. Okay, we have unified champions in the sport. Many unified champions. Alexander Usyk is a unified champion, as well as Tyson Fury is the WBC champion. So we had Monster Inoue, who was the undisputed champion. He just vacated, but we have unified champions, undisputed champions. They're paying these purses. If you have 3 fighters that fight and they paying upwards of $300,000, that's nearly $1 million just for 3 fights. And they're saying that over the years since 2012, they have donated $2 million. Well, that's 11 years. In 11 years, you've only donated $2 million in support of these fighters. That's just not enough, right? You had Anthony Joshua was the unified champion. Now Alexander Usyk. Terrence Crawford was the undisputed champion. Devin Haney's undisputed. Teofimo was unified. Lomachenko was unified. George Kambosos was unified. Errol Spence is unified. Jamel Charles undisputed. Canelo Alvarez is undisputed. So where's this money going? Where Usyk, Canelo Alvarez, these fighters are paying buku money for these purses. And where's the money going? This doesn't justify it. Then it says a unique program, 365 days, 24 hours a day, random anti-doping testing program funded by the WBC and administrated by VADA. The selection and test is done independently by VADA at WBC expenses. And that's good. But what about the other sanctioning bodies? And how could you only donate $2 million in 11 years? Since 2012. This is 2023. That's 11 years. And then you only donated $2 million in support of these fighters who fell on hard times. You know how many fighters fell on hard times from 2012 to 2023? And donating $2 million, don't cut it. I support and I applaud the fact that they have the 365-day anti-doping, but that's only one sanction body. They need to hold the other sanction bodies accountable. The WBC is doing this. What about the WBA, the IBF, and the WBO? What are they doing? Where is their explanation? Combined. A lot more needs to be donated back to these fighters. And it should be up to the fighters to where it goes as well. They should be involved. They should not be left in the dark, in the gray area, in the unknown. They should know exactly where it's going. Point blank and period. They're paying taxes to the sanction bodies to take pictures with the belt and mythically say they are the champions. Because that's what it is. They take a picture. Somebody's going to lose their title. Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford. July 29th. Somebody's not going to be the champion anymore. When he reigned, Where did that money go during his reign? What did you help him change during his reign? That's what's important. And that's what needs to be addressed. Point blank and period. And this should not be one sanctioning body, the WBC, coming forward. They have always been very vocal. And they do things in the sport of boxing. And they do help people in the sport of boxing. And they do raise awareness. But it's not enough. Simply not enough. And that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Follow me on Instagram, Blue Blood Sports TV. All one word. I'm gone. Peace.